This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Savannah Marshall here in London. Savannah, I was just saying to you, it's good to see you. It's been a while since I last did. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm really good. I'm buzzing to be here. Another all-female card.
Before we come on to this card, obviously with yourself, you ventured away from the boxing world, if you will, this recent stage in your career. How are you finding things away from it?
Less politics, less bull crap. No, look, I've been out the ring now about 18 months. My last fight was French and Cruz. Been given the opportunity to box on this all-female bill. The last one was absolutely unbelievable, so I'd be stupid to turn this down.
Have you been missing boxing?
Do you know what? I really enjoy MMA. I enjoy the training. Boxing's my bread and butter. I've done it for so long. Yeah, I have. I've missed the faces.
I hope you've missed my face. With this fight, you haven't had an opponent announced as of yet. How do you find yourself trying to stay motivated? Because I don't imagine you might not have the name that you want. So what are we looking at in terms of that comeback fight into the boxing world?
Look, the pool's so shallow at these heavyweights. So shallow, so I can't afford to be too picky. I'm wanting a comeback fight. Big names at these weights. Obviously there's Claressa Shields, who I've already beat. Shadisa Green, who doesn't want to know. So that eliminates probably 95% of the elite women at these big weights. So look, it's not my problem. It's a boxer problem.
Is that why then for you as well, why you felt that the move over into the MMA world made sense? Because it's difficult to, outside of again French and Cruz and then Claressa Shields, there's not that many big names out there for you in the boxing world?
No, exactly, and that was part of the push for the MMA. A lot more opportunity, a lot more different opponents. It was kind of like I become a novice again, so there was a lot more opportunity there for me.
You said earlier, comeback fight into the boxing world, Savannah. So do you see this as 2025 being a momentum, a return into boxing?
I hope so, yeah. I really do hope so. Look, there's only one fight out there for me. And March the 7th, good opponent, good performance. And look, if that rematch with Claressa doesn't happen after this, then I don't think it ever will.
Talk to me about that rematch, Savannah. It's been the fight you've wanted for a long time. Are you confident in your own mind, from what you're told from your representatives, we will see yourself and Claressa Shields square off once again?
Look, tomorrow's never promised, especially in boxing. You can ask anyone here. This rematch has been talked about a couple of times, also in the MMA cage, and it hasn't come off. So until I'm about to do that ring walk, that's when I know it's happening.
We've obviously seen Claressa up at heavyweight as well now, so what are your thoughts on that? Does that make it a bit more difficult to try and secure a fight and a rematch between the pair of you?
No, I think it makes it a little bit easier. I was undisputed at super middle. I got stripped of a couple of belts due to injury, and there's other girls there in line, so that kind of makes an undisputed fight with Claressa a little bit harder. Whereas at heavyweight, there's no one there, and I think she's got all the belts anyway.
When you mentioned earlier on, there was talk about it taking place in MMA, the rematch that is. Were those talks actually going on in the background, or was it just what was suggested, what you saw over social media? What was the latest?
No, we were actually, there was actually talks made for us to fight late last year, and it just never materialised.
What would be the preference then? Would you, or let's say not rather preference, but do you think that, say if I was to come to you and say, okay, we'll do one in MMA and then one in boxing, would that be music to your ears?
I prefer the MMA first. I would. But look, I'm not getting no. I'm 34 in a couple of months, and I'm desperate for this rematch. There's no other fight out there for me. I can't really say I'm going to have a couple of fights there because the opponents just aren't there. So look, whatever comes first, but box March the 7th, and like I said, hopefully it sets up this rematch.
Just ask as well, and with Claressa, as you've said, it's a shallow pool of potential opponents. So, do you think that the circle might close on her a little bit because she'll be running out of opponents?
I think it already is. Look at her last opponent, that Canadian. She's moved up to heavy. Like, she's not a natural heavyweight, and even her opponent now, I still think she's number one at heavy, but I think she's had 5 fights, so you can see there. And like I said, there's Shadisa Green, who just doesn't want to know, and then there's Franchin. I think, could she fight Franchin? Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's not like the lightweight, super light. It's not like the welterweights where there's so many of them.
If you had one message for Claressa Shields, what would it be?
Heavyweight, who wore it better?
Savannah, obviously, as you mentioned, with this card, an all-female card, Jonas Price headlining. What's your thoughts on that main event?
I think it's a brilliant main event. I don't think it's as one-sided as what people think either. I think, I keep swaying from who I think. I think you've got Lauren, who's fast, young. Then you've got Tash, who's got the most experience of all the females, and her timing's impeccable. So timing beats speed. You've got Lauren, who's really young in her prime. Tash, who's a little bit older. I can't pick them.
Also, just want to get your thoughts on, there's been a lot of back and forths, a lot of talk about a potential rematch between Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer. What will be the difference in a rematch if they do square up?
I think Sandy needs to box. I think Sandy is, if not one of the better boxers of that division, and she seems to just want to tear up all the time. I think if Sandy boxes to the best of her ability, I think Sandy could beat anyone.
Savannah, I appreciate your time as always. I look forward to your boxing return. Thanks for speaking to me, and good luck with the remainder of this year.
Nice one, thank you.